Coming up on this week's show, I'll talk with the Dean of Career and Technical Education, Barry Emerson, about a pair of grants that are going to help make our already outstanding Belden Center even more of the state's leader in workforce development. We'll also hear from Coach Robin Porter, Keely Wilson, and Lamaya Pfeiffer after their big win over at Northeast last week, a game that you heard right here on 101.9 FM. Then we'll wrap up the show talking with Coach Mike Sullivan as we take a look back at the 2019 men's soccer season. We've got a jam-packed show, so no time to waste. The ICC Hour starts now.
That's home. That's just like the Ravens. That's just like Pahokee, Florida. That's my second home. I got my degree from there, my first degree, college degree. It's part of my heart, it's part of my soul, it's part of my spirit. And, you know, it's everything. Itawamba Community College, baby, it's everything. It shaped me up to being a great man because it was part of the journey of me becoming the young man I am today. And it's home, man. That's it. Like, I could go there and lay my head down without no problems. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
And welcome back to the ICC Hour, as we're now going to go to the phone lines and talk to Barry Emerson, the Dean of Career and Technical Education over at the Belden Center. And ICC recently received a $500,000, actually two grants that equal $500,000 to enhance its industrial maintenance associate's degree programs, as well as to implement robotics and automation control technology over at the Belden Center. And Barry, that's got to be something exciting for you guys over there.
Oh, yeah. It's always exciting to get money that can help buy equipment and move us into the latest in technology and make our students more valuable and, make them increase their skill set to the point that they're more valuable to industry.
Okay, so where do these grants come from?
Well, the first one that I'll talk about is something we call the Governor's Reserve Fund grant. And it's basically WIOA funds that were not expended, and the governor puts those out in the form of grants, and so we were able to write a grant, and they saw value in it, and was funded it for us for $250,000.
Oh, that's awesome. And then the second one as well, obviously $250,000 there as well, and where did it come from?
Well, that one is a collaboration between Three Rivers Planning and Development District in Pontotoc and the ARC, the Appalachian Regional Commission. And so that's a grant that Three Rivers and ARC specifically went after. It's federal money that they knew about and made application for it, was able to get it, and that's part of a larger grant that's going to actually help more than just ICC.
Okay.
Three Rivers is looking to make an impact in all 27 of its counties, and so we submitted our interest in the grant and our support of that grant, and then what our wish list was, and they came back and said that they're going to award us $252,000 for that one, for the equipment that we requested.
Now, this is going to go a really long way in helping increase, I guess you can say, the numbers are for this high-demand job skills that you guys offer over there. So kind of talk about how these grants will be implemented and how you're going to benefit from them.
Absolutely. Well, the industrial maintenance technology program and the industrial electricity program that we have at our Belden Center are very popular programs. We have about 120 to 140 students in those two programs alone.
Wow. And
we're not graduating enough,
right.
Honestly. And the only thing keeping us from taking more students is the lack of faculty. We've got 5 faculty members that serve in those two programs, and they work hand in hand. What we've seen over the years is certain industries, those that are more in automated manufacturing, more toward robotics and more toward programmable logic controllers and equipment that's automated, lines that are automated. What we've seen is that our industry's telling us that they are leaning more toward the industrial electrical students, but they need to have more automation and more of that electrical. And so, this is going to allow us to automate some equipment. We already had PLCs, we already had variable frequency drives, and we already had conveyors, and we had all of this equipment. But it wasn't necessarily all tied together into one automated system. And so we've got some really great instructors here. In the last year, they've really stepped up and they've built some automated equipment themselves. What these grants will allow us to do is to, one, the Governor's Reserve Fund grant we're going to use to purchase an additional robotic trainers. That it's a different brand. It's a brand that one of our main industries in the area, Ashley Furniture, is doing about $150 million automation retrofit at their Ecru plant. And they're going to put in Yaskawa robots and automation in about 80 different sales there. And this will allow us to set those sales up in our own lab here with Yaskawa robots and not only train our students in those two programs with that type of technology, but also Ashley Furniture then right now are spending quite a bit of money sending their skilled craftsmen out of state to be trained.
Right.
It's at a huge cost, and to get them certified in that equipment, and we'll be able to do that ourselves here. We'll send our instructors out of state to get that same certification so that then we'll certify our center so that then we can train on behalf of Yaskawa. We'll be able to train Ashley's employees and give them that certification.
And that's a really cool thing. I don't think a lot of people think about is sometimes when you do have to do the training. I have a friend of mine. He's going as far as to help people train in Italy and Japan, but he has to go out of state a lot for that. So it's really valuable for Ashley and other industries to be able to stay at home, save that money, and be able to train here in Belden.
It really is. This is highly skilled. These are the highest end of that skill set, and we typically provide a really good skill set to our graduates of our 2-year program, but they get a lot more experience when they go out in the industry, and then industry will take those individuals and send them places to get those very high-end skills. What this allows us to do is send our instructors to get those high-end skills, and it's going to cost us about $40,000 to get them that certification, but that's going to save Ashley Furniture tens of thousands of dollars because now instead of them having to send them out of state, our guys are trained and they're trained instructors as well, and I think that's the disconnect. Someone might say, well, why doesn't Ashley just send one person to get trained and let them come back and do the training? Well, number one, certifications don't necessarily work that way, but then, we have the pedagogical skills here, our instructors do, to create that curriculum, teach that curriculum, and earn that certification.
Absolutely. And now one thing that I see in the press release that Ms. Donna did that will really interest some of our listeners out there, current wages for this automation technicians currently range between $24 and $28 per hour. That, my friend, is nothing to sneeze at.
It's not, and to be honest with you, we're being very conservative with that number.
Okay.
There are places that right now, when they read that, are going to say, "I wish I could hire some for $28 an hour." So, and that's really a starting salary. They'll build on that as they continue to get additional skill sets. When we provide them with the foundational skills that we're providing, and then they go to other places and they get that experience and they get other education, they come back here and they get the high-end skills that we're going to be providing with this new certification, then they're adding to their repertoire, their resume, and so therefore they're adding to their salary. I mean, the companies are going to have to pay them in order to keep them, and so in a lot of cases, Adam, and people look at me sometimes funny when I say this, but it's probably more common for these individuals to be making six figures in a year's time than not. Most of them are going to be making over $100,000 a year.
Wow, that's amazing. And we're talking to Barry Emerson about a combination of two grants that equaled $500,000 over at the Belden Center. And I tell you, there's so many people out there that may not be currently, I hate to say, happy with their position in life or not necessarily satisfied with the financial side of their life right now. You guys are a crown jewel here in North Mississippi for people to be able to come over, see what you guys offer over there at the Belden Center. And again, you're talking about some quick training to really make some money that can really change your platform in life. So really just reach out to everybody right now. Tell them how they can find out more about what you guys offer over at the Belden Center.
Well, Adam, I appreciate you saying that. And if you haven't seen what we offer at the Belden Center, then you owe it to yourself to do that.
Yes.
I've yet to give a tour to anyone that wasn't 100% impressed. And most of the time would say I had no idea that we offered that right here in North Mississippi. And honestly, if you haven't seen today's manufacturing environment, that's something else. It's not the dull, dreary, dark, dirty manufacturing of yesteryear. This is high tech. It's most cases it's automated, and these are very, very, very good. And we've already established high paying jobs. So I would just encourage the listeners to reach out to me. Look on our website. Our website is a wealth of information on all of our programs, but go to iccms.edu, look at programs of study, and you can see a lot of different career technical programs that we offer. And specifically industrial maintenance, technology, industrial electricity, and a new program that we're going to implement that's going to combine those two at a higher level. We're calling that one robotics and automation technology. And look at the information you see out there. There will be contact info there. Obviously, you can call 662-620-5000. So that's 620-5000, and ask to speak to me or ask to speak to someone in any of the programs that you're interested in, and they can hook you up. They'll set you up with a tour, or I will set you up with a tour. We'll walk you through, talk to you about the possibilities, talk to you about internship opportunities that we have, and what the job prospects are.
Well, Barry, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk to us. It's always just something more and more exciting coming out of the Belden Center. I know you've got some more things down the pipe coming, and looking forward to talk to you soon.
Yeah, I do too, Adam. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And that's Barry Emerson talking about the grants that and some of the other great things going over there at the Belden Center, part of the Itawamba Community College system here. We'll be back more of the ICC Hour right after this. At Itawamba Community College, your education is our top priority. With a 20-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, you will get the help that you need from your instructors. With 3 locations in Fulton, Tupelo, and Belden, ICC offers classes that will prepare you to enter almost any job field of your choice. Learn more about Wallet Hub's #1 community college in Mississippi and the 25th best in the country by visiting iccms.edu or apply online at apply.iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs, and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion, or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton, or online davisfordsales.com.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
Welcome back to the ICC Hour being presented by Renaissance Bank. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, RenaissanceBank.com. Now, if you were tuned in to 101.9 FM last Thursday, you heard ICC come away with a split on the hardwood at Northeast last week. The Lady Indians used a strong fourth quarter to pick up a 66-55 win to remain unbeaten in division play. Lee Adams had a chance to catch up with Keely Wilson, Lamaya Pfeiffer, and Coach Porter to talk about the win.
All right, Keely, big road win tonight at Northeast. Just talk about your performance and your teammates' performance to battle through those tough 3.5 quarters before you're able to pull away late.
Okay, as a team, we had to execute and play a lot of defense like Coach Porter was telling us. And she told us a specific player to keep off the boards, and we did that. And individually, I kept driving and getting to the hole to cut the lead down.
My big road win, your first taste of this rivalry on the road, but you were able to pick up some big points there for the Lady Indians to get the win. Just talk about your performance and your teammates' performance to get the win.
Overall, as a team, we did very good. Knowing that we have to go on the road, not getting as many fouls as we get at home, we just have to fight through it and push through, to just pick up the win.
All right, Coach, big road win against the rival Northeast Lady Tigers. Seemed like it was a tight battle there early on for the first 3 quarters, and y'all were able to pull away in the fourth. Just talk about your team's performance to pick up this road win.
Hey, to come out sloppy and then start picking it up. They bought in to actually scout report and work hard. The sophomores really came in big for second half, and they stepped up for us, so they led us, and we was able to pull out the win. Brenda does a great job. She slowed us down a little bit, took us out of element, and good job to them.
Okay, well, just talk about your leading scorers there. It seemed like they had to fight for every point there in those first 3 quarters for sure. I think it was Keely and Lamaya and Tabria. Just talk about them, and Whitney as well. Just talk about them forward, how they helped get the win.
Hey, every point is a battle, and I told them just go in and know that you're going to score. Be confident. Keely elevated. Bree stepped up. Lamaya, big-time freshman, she's going in. She's battling. She's rebounding, putting back for her. And when she does that, it motivates the other kids to keep shooting, keep trying to score, and just play as a team.
Let's keep the sports theme going and jump into an interview with Coach Mike Sullivan to take a look back at the 2019 men's soccer season, and we'll also kind of take a sneak peek at what fans can expect for the 2020 season. Now, this ICC Spotlight's being brought to you by Renaissance Bank. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, RenaissanceBank.com. Sully, first off, before we get started, thank you for coming to talk to us today, and kind of just give a quick review of the year.
Yeah, I mean, we had another good year. We were coming off back-to-back division titles, and we came up just a little short of that, but I had a really good year. Finished 6-2 in the conference, and basically 1 goal behind, in a manner of speaking. So we had some great games this year. We, didn't quite get to where we wanted to go at the end of the day, but this league has gotten so good that really the last 3 or 4 state titles. I mean, we actually beat the team that won the state title this year earlier in the season. So it's that close, and it really comes down to kind of who gets hot at the end. And maybe, unfortunately, a couple teams were a little hotter than us there at the end.
Well, you talk about that. You opened the season with a 2-1 win over Jones, and for a season opener, that might have been one of the most intense, most just geared up atmospheres I've seen. Of course, kind of a little carryover from last year's postseason as well, but you were able to pick up that 2-1 win on a weekend where you also picked up a 7-0 victory over Southwest. No slight against Southwest. Let's focus more on Jones right now. That, as a fan, even if you're not a fan of soccer, that as a fan of competitive sports, that atmosphere was tough to beat.
Yeah, I mean it was. It really was a carryover from like the playoffs the year before. We had a 2-1 battle with them that they beat us in the year before, and we were glad to get them first because we certainly didn't feel like they didn't earn their victory the year before, but we knew we could have taken it as well. So it was kind of a nice little redemption game in a manner of speaking. And like you said, I know you were there, and I mean it was, if you like athletics and you like just a competitive atmosphere where kids are fighting it out 100 miles to just going crazy. I mean, that's what that game was like. It was a lot of fun. It was a great way to start our season off.
Yeah, I think it was a good statement to start the season as well with that 2-1 win. I mean, you had guys getting hurt that you were trying to sub out. They refused to come out.
Yeah.
And these were like serious, I hate to say serious injuries, but it was just that intense of a game.
Yeah, nobody wanted to leave that one. That was a lot of fun. I mean, the truth is Jones is a quality side, and to go to their place in game one and beat them that was nice. It was a good way to go to start out.
Well, one unfortunate thing that David talked about, and you'll talk about this as well, is you don't get a whole lot of time before you have to jump right into division play.
Yeah.
You finished out August with a 3-0 win over Holmes. Good result to start division play.
Yeah, I mean, you get right into it pretty quick. I mean, now next year things are going to be a little different, a little more time, but we started off well in the division. I mean, got out of the gate against going to Holmes, which is always a tough place to play, and kind of took care of business. Got the perfect win, the 3-0 win, and then there was that Hines game at home. That was that was an ESPN instant classic for sure. We were down 2-0, and I believe with about 22 minutes left, and then it was just like the guys refused to lose. I mean, we were not going to not win that game. I thought we dominated that game anyway. We just got some unlucky breaks, and the boys finally found a way to win that one. And, we ended up going 4-0 through the first leg of division, which was huge, and, made a few mistakes in the back half.
Yeah. And so you pick up a 1-0 win over East Central here in Fulton, and then go to Northwest. So this is just a place tough for any sport at ICC to play. And I talked about it with David. I'll talk about it with you as well. It's just something about whenever we look across the field, we see Northwest across their chest. They look across the field, see Itawamba across ours. It's just going to bring out the best competitive atmosphere. Unfortunately, dropped a 2-1 decision in double overtime.
Won
that one too.
Yeah, we won that one. And we actually scored. They were ahead 1-0, and we scored with under a minute to go. They decided to play a very defensive game against us. Basically, put 11 people back in the box, and while we had the ball the whole time, we could not break them down and score until finally our all-region guy, Irvin Rodriguez, just took a pass from the wing and turned and hit a shot, and somehow it went in, and then we went on to win in overtime. So I mean, Northwest is always tough. Yeah. It's just, I mean, really at all the division opponents is tough, but Northwest is kind of, I wouldn't say they're our true rival, but they're like our most geographically close rivals. Right. So, we both recruit in a lot of the same areas. So it's definitely a rival for us. It's always been a tough game, and I expect it to be in the future.
And then you stepped out of division play after that, dropped a 3-1 decision to break up that 6-0 start to the season to Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast always a tough team down there out of the South.
Yeah, I mean, that one was maybe the score a little misleading. They beat us for sure, but we made a couple mistakes in that and didn't finish some chances. I mean, Gulf Coast was a good, solid team this year. They were tough, had some really good players, and maybe it was a good way for us to come back down to reality a little bit. I think we at that point really thought we were kind of a little better than we might have been in our heads. So, that one was tough, but it was good for us to kind of, learn what we needed to do to get better to compete with some of the South teams for sure.
And then you had a midseason friendly with Bethel, jumped right back into it against Pearl River, another good team out of the South, dropped a 3-2 decision in double overtime there. Actually, I'm looking back over the schedule now, you actually had in the previous 4 games, 3 of those went into double overtime. So the guys were battle-tested, just unfortunately just couldn't find a way to come out with a win in those 3 double overtime matches.
Well, I mean, that game with Pearl River was another, super instant classic. Yeah. I mean, that one was, this year we had a lot of teams kind of, in one form or fashion or another, would sit back a little bit on us, maybe play defense, and, trying to let us make some mistakes, but not Pearl River.
Yeah.
That game was two guys flying around at each other, and it was just kind of 100 miles an hour all the way through. And I think it was like 1-1, 2-2, and then they scored. I want to say in the 109th minute off basically a mistake, just a goal kick that didn't go where it needed to go, and one of their best players got it and just dribbled in and scored. So, but really, even though we lost both those games in the middle, we kind of had a really good idea of what we'd be looking at going in the playoffs, and we knew we could compete with them, and we knew, given the right circumstances, we could beat them if we played our best. So it wasn't. It's never good to lose those two, but it's still. It's better that we played those and lost than we went somewhere and won 8-0.
Right.
We got a lot more out of that. A little humility, a little bit of knowledge, and and kind of ready to move on for the next round of division.
Speaking of that, you wrapped up September with an impressive 5-0 win at Andrew College. That to me, 5-0 win, yes, but the fact that it's an overnight stay, it's in Georgia, that kind of prepares them to know what to expect and how to handle themselves on the road whenever the playoffs do come up.
Yeah, that was a good result for us. It's a good trip. We did a lot of fun things. We went to the movies. We had a nice meal. They spent the night in the hotel. We got to bond. We got to hang out. We got to see what it's going to be like. Hopefully when we move on to the next level of playoffs and that kind of thing. So that was good for us. And then we came away with a really solid result. It's a long trip. It's tough to play well when you go that far away from home. And Andrew was a good test, but we did definitely handle business there for sure.
Well, so October rolled around, started the month off on a positive note, a 4-0 shutout of Holmes, and then things got tough. You go to Hines, our rival, very tough place to play. No matter what year in, year out, drop a 3-2 decision there. And then East Central, just a day the brakes beat the guys. Not taking anything away from East Central in that sense. They pick up a 2-1 win there. Let's talk about those first three matches to open the month.
Yeah, Holmes, we seem to really play them well at our place. We usually have good results, and we played really well there. I think we were kind of coming off the Andrew game, played well, and, we did well with that game and kind of took care of business, and I think we'd even clinched a playoff spot with that win, so we were happy, and, to go into Hines with a chance to clinch the division, and, I've been here almost 20 years now, and if the one place that everybody would ask me, where do you not want to go to play a game, it would be at Hunt's. It's because, A, they're really good, and there's just something about playing there. It's tough. That night game, it was the only night game we had the entire season.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference between playing at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and playing at 7:30 at night. It's a different atmosphere. The ball's wet. It's just a lot of different things. It's not excuses. It's just, it is what it is, and it's tougher. Hines usually struggles when they come to us, and then they usually are good when they when we get them at home. So that game was yet another classic game. We were ahead 2-1, and then our goalkeeper went down with a concussion. On a it was a play that wasn't malicious in any way. It just happened like they do, and our third keeper came in and did an admirable job. But we couldn't find a way to pull that one out, and so we stayed level there. But the East Central one is the one that really sticks in your craw a little bit. The other, not to take anything away from them, but we were definitely in my opinion, a better team this year, and. Had we won that one, we probably would have went on to win the division. So instead of finishing second, so that one was a tough one. All credit to them; they beat us for sure. But we just, I think it's a little hangover from the Hines game, and it is what it is. It's like I tell them every day: you got to be ready every time out, or bad things can happen. And
I honestly feel like, and of course I don't know soccer obviously as well as you do, but just being an observer, that was the difference in the day was the want to. East Central just kind of outwanted this. They got that lead, packed it in on you, and then...
they needed it to make the playoffs, so they had a humongous want to, and they were at home, and, it was one of those things. These guys my guys always fought. It's sometimes there's a little more fight in you than there is on other days, and unfortunately we chose to pick a day not to bring all our fight with us, against a team that's, East Central's been good over the years, so you can't just show up there and win for sure. heck, you can't do that with anybody anymore.
And
I miss those days.
Yeah. That's the thing. Just the growth of the sport and the game itself.
Absolutely.
You know, there used to be, and we won't mention teams, but in every sport, there's always that one team where like, okay, we can get some guys in, try some different things, see what worked. But now
that team doesn't exist in our league anymore.
I would say the level of play is just so equaled out from top to bottom now.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, if you don't bring pretty much your best game every time out, you are not going to have the most favorable results for sure.
At Itawamba Community College, your education is our top priority. With a 20-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, you will get the help that you need from your instructors. With 3 locations in Fulton, Tupelo, and Belden, ICC offers classes that will prepare you to enter almost any job field of your choice. Learn more about Wallet Hub's #1 community college in Mississippi and the 25th best in the country by visiting iccms.edu or apply online at apply.iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
At Renaissance Bank, we understand your company deserves individualized attention that will support your company's goals. Whether you're looking to finance or lease equipment, we offer flexible options to help you secure capital for your assets. Whether you're a transportation company looking to expand your fleet, a telecommunications company upgrading your capabilities, or anything in between, we can help you. We offer finance agreements or capital leases, tax leases, and track leases, as well as tax-free financing for municipalities and 501c3s. We've been providing financial services to businesses like yours for over a century. So let us show you how Renaissance Bank's equipment financing and leasing can benefit your company. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Car Hop Classic for just $2.99 is the perfect 1-2 punch of flavor and value.
Time that!
You need a trainer to help you eat the burger?
Hey, stay out of this. Don't get in my head, man. There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
My mom never let me eat this much cookie dough.
What would she say if she saw you eating this big scoop cookie dough blast?
I don't know. Why ask her?
Don't tell your father.
Oh, naughty, naughty.
Hurry in and scoop up our new cookie dough treats. Try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
That's home. That's just like the Ravens. That's just like Pahokee, Florida. That's my second home. I got my degree from there, my first degree, college degree. It's part of my heart, it's part of my soul, it's part of my spirit. And, you know, it's everything. Itawamba Community College, baby, it's everything. It shaped me up to being a great man because it was part of the journey of me becoming the young man I am today. And it's home, man. That's it. Like, I could go there and lay my head down without no problems. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
We finished up the regular season with a 4-0 shutout of Northwest, took care of Meridian 3-2. Just sort of recap those 2 matches before we talk about postseason play.
Yeah, well, those were interesting because for the first time in my career, I did not coach those games.
Yep.
I had 2 family members in different cities and different hospitals at the same time, and big shout out to Coach Strother for kind of helping cover for me. We went through a lot of things, and he took care of running the boys for me and did a great job. We won 4-0 and won 3-2. I got to see him on either live feed, thanks to you guys, or tape delay. And so, I mean, I was very pleased. We did well with that, especially, it's not so much that I'm important. It's just that a routine is not the same. And, like I said, Strother did a great job filling in and took care of business. I think that makes him 3-0 as the men's coach now. He had to do one when I got ejected one time.
Yeah.
So, hadn't been ejected in a while.
Yeah.
But no, we finished up good, finished up strong, ready for our home playoff game with Gulf Coast.
Now, Coach, let's build on that point in a minute there as well. As a head coach, it makes you feel good knowing you've got David that's got your back, because you don't have an assistant coach, but basically you guys are each other's assistants when you can be. But as a coach, knowing that your guys had the focus to come in, take care of business, and get those 2 wins without you there, that's got to, 1, is a testimony for you as a coach, but 2, that's got to make you feel good knowing your guys still got that want to without you having to prod them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and I had no doubt. I mean, I knew that it would be just different without me there. I mean, it was, of course, I want to take care of my family, but I was
Right,
miserable at the same time. I was like, I'm not with my guys, you know, I don't know what's going on. And but no, they really did a good job taking care of business and, you know, and staying focused on the task at hand. I mean, that's one of the things we try and talk about is, you know, I mean, when we get started in August, we got the 25 of us, we got me. I mean, we're going to hopefully all be there at the end, but if we're missing somebody for one reason or another, you know, that just means somebody's got to pick up the slack. And I think our captains did a good job in kind of picking up the slack for me being gone and not being annoying voice maybe like, come on guys, we got to get this together. So did good and, you know, finished out strong. I mean, finished up 10-4 in the regular season, 6-2 in the conference. So, you know, I mean, we finished runner-up, which we don't like to have a three-peat, but, you know, it was close, but we'll try and get that back next year.
Well, you talk about wanting to win that North. It's important to win the North because of what we're about to talk about next. It's just how tough this league is from top to bottom, both in the North and South. Number one in the North, you get a bye into the state tournament. Number two, you have to host a Gulf Coast team who finished third, which they were just points away from also finishing first in the South. So 2-0 was the final decision. Unfortunately, not in favor of the good guys, but kind of just look back over that match.
Yeah, I mean, you know, kind of getting to the front of your point is, I mean, the North is good. We're definitely competitive and we're good. The South is usually really good, and when I say that, what I mean is, like, it doesn't matter who finishes first, second, or third.
Right.
They're all about pretty equal, especially this year. I mean, it would not have mattered who we played. It would have been a extraordinarily tough game, no matter who it was. And so, you know, winning that conference, the North Conference, would have been a much bigger thing because, you know, you would have got the bye in there. So, and this year, we actually would have got to host the tournament. So that would have made it even nicer. But, you know, so we gave it our best shot. But yeah, playing Gulf Coast, we already had a good look at them. I mean, we had played all the guys that we had, you know, that we were looking at playing. That's one of the reasons why we try and make sure we play them, because we know at some point we're going to face one of those three guys more than likely for, you know, one of the playoff steps. And, you know, it was the game was very, very competitive. They did a really good job shutting down what we wanted to do. For the most part, we did a pretty good job shutting down what they wanted to do. They kind of got a goal, I think, in the 12th minute, and really it was just kind of a mistake, just kind of an error. We kind of bobbled the ball, and they were able to clean one up. And then they really did a good job defensively from there. And it stayed 1-0 until about 5 minutes left, and then, you know, no sense to lose a playoff game 1-0. We moved a lot of people forward, and I was like, well, we're either going to lose this 2-0 or it's going overtime.
Right.
And so we lost 2-0. So you're never going to just sit back and hope that 1-0 is good enough in the playoffs. So we pushed hard, but Gulf Coast ended up making the finals. So it's not like it's very shameful, but really out of all the playoff games this year, they were, except for one of them was a blowout, but all the rest of them were like games that went to penalty kicks or 2-1, 1-0 kind of games. So it's like it's been the last 3 or 4 years. There's usually 5 out of the 6 are just super competitive, and whoever's the most ready and the most less mistakes that day will move on.
Yep, and so 10-5 on the year, as you said. Not necessarily where you wanted to finish, but nothing to hang your head about after you look over the season.
No, I mean we're pleased. You know, you always want to win the last one. You always want to get the ring, but you know, you can look back and be happy. I mean, we definitely fought very hard. I mean, the guys, most of all our losses are, you know, we felt like they were quality losses in a sense. Like, you know, we gave our all. They were instant classic kind of games. I mean, you lose 3-2 in double overtime to Pearl River. You lose twice to Gulf Coast in tight matches, and you know, I mean, just and Hines. I mean, at Hines 3-2. I mean, that's none of these are losses that you can just go, oh, we're terrible. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, the breaks beat the boys on some of them, and then they were just, some of them were good games, and we just got beat. I mean, there are times where, you know, we get done, and I'm like, all right, guys, you know, let's be mad we lost, but we did everything we could do. If we play them 9 more times, it's probably going to be 5-5. We just got to make sure when it's in the most important ones that we take care of that business. So, you know, all in all, you know, it's another successful season. The past 3 years, you know, I mean, I think we had been something like 19-5 in the division, 2 North Division titles, 1 runner-up. So, you know, this sophomore class did some really good things. So they were 7-1 in the conference this year, 6-2 this year. I mean, 13-3 over the course of their career in the conference, and probably somewhere around 23 and, I don't know, 10, something like that. So really good run for the sophomore guys. Very proud of them. We fought to the end and just came up a little short.
Well, let's stay on the coin of talking about your sophomores. What does this sophomore class, one, mean to the program, and two, mean to you?
I mean, this is a great group of guys. I mean, you spend, I always, tell people a lot of times, like, from late July till, early November, I spend more time with these guys than I do my family and stuff, for sure. So, you spend a lot of time with these guys, you get to know them. I mean, it's a great group. They were a lot of fun. They worked hard. A real blue-collar group of guys. I mean, I wouldn't call us having a whole lot of blue-chip, five-star athletes out there, but we have a lot of really good, hard-nosed soccer players that want to win games, and that's what we've done over the last bunch of years. I think we work hard, and they get results. We had a bunch of them that over their 2 years, won various awards for this, that, and the other. And, this is a sophomore class that's going to be missed. Hopefully the freshmen now will step up and take those reins over. I mean, I haven't even looked, but I know over the last 3, 4, 5 years, we've been one of the most successful overall, programs in the state with probably wins and conference wins. So we'd like to keep that going. But a sophomore class that'll definitely be missed.
We're talking with Coach Mike Sullivan about the past men's soccer season. You talked about some of the guys that did earn some postseason honors. Clayton O'Daniel and Irvin Rodriguez received All-Region 23 team honors. You had Braden Halems, David Marquez, and Carson O'Daniel get All-Conference as well. So 5 guys earning those honors there. Just talk about those 5 individuals.
Yeah, I mean, those guys had some great years, and there were others that had good years as well, but I mean, Clayton definitely stood out. I think he was the second leading point scorer in the conference, number 1 in the North. I mean, he over his 2 years, I mean, he had 20-plus goals, 10-plus assists. In this league nowadays, that's tough. A lot of records that were set earlier in time are never going to be broken because the league was so bad. One guy could score 40 goals.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen again. I mean, teams are just not bad anymore like that. So. Saying you score 25 goals in a 2-year career is nothing to. I'll take that every day from a kid. I mean, Clayton was really 2 years just an absolute workhorse. I mean, the dude, he created half the goals he scored just by hard work, stealing it off a defender, intercepting this or that. So I mean, he was a lot of hard work to his stuff. And then Irvin getting All-Region, I was very pleasantly surprised with, getting rewarded. The guys getting rewarded with 2 All-Region selections because it's only 11 of them. So we felt really good about that. And Irvin, definitely dangerous offensive player. I mean, probably very highly respected in the league. I mean, he did some really good things for us. We asked him to play a lot of different positions. So he was another guy that we're looking forward to coming back next year, and he's hopefully going to score even more goals. And then our all-conference guys, David Marquez and Braden Halems in the back. David's probably the best offensive right back I've ever had in my entire life. I mean, he can get forward, he can get back and defend. And then Braden's as good a center back as we've ever had. I think the guys, I don't know if they really nicknamed him or not, but I always hear the word beast a lot when it came to him. I mean, they just knew. I think everybody was comfortable. Like David would be more comfortable running forward because they're like, Braden's back there, he'll get him.
And he made so many plays, that I've talked about in the broadcast where you're just like, okay, wow, that extra effort.
He would save us in all kinds of different ways. I mean, he really did a good job. And then Carson was like, he's the offensive lineman of the group.
Yeah.
I think he might have had 1 goal, which was an important one. I remember it was the one that beat East Central.
Yes.
And he might have had 2 or 3 assists. But if anybody watched our last game against Meridian, he got a yellow card right at halftime. And I was in communication with Strother, even though I wasn't there, and I was like, anybody gets a yellow, just tell them to take their cleats off. They're done because our next match is the playoffs. You never want something crazy to happen.
Right.
And why I told that story is we played terrible in the second half against Meridian, and one of the big reasons why is because Carson wasn't on that field. He's just kind of that field general, hard worker guy. Him and his brother both just super hard workers. I mean, Carson just seems like he's everywhere. Sometimes he's too many places at one time.
Yeah.
But his hard work and hustle is what won him that award. I mean, it wasn't for stats. He's the guy that's not going to have very many stats, but at the end of the day, people that play with him, recognize and realize how valuable he is to us being successful as a team. So all 5 of these guys, great seasons, and heck, 4 of them are coming back next year. So we're excited about that.
All right, so that leads me into my next point. You're doing good, Sully. All right, so what's the next step for the program? What is it to build on the successes to improve for next year?
Well, I mean, we really liked how we came about the season, that kind of thing. Some of the things that we're going to try and work on in the off season, quite honestly, I don't want to talk about too much.
Gotcha.
Because there are a few things that we're going to look at that people are kind of, we're going to try and combat some of the things people are doing to us, and we're going to work a little bit, maybe a little more differently on a few things, and try and come up with a few more strategical, tactical decisions, and to try and combat some of the things that we faced this year and we've been facing. But we are really excited with the group that's coming back, and the signing class. We hope to have the signing class released in early January. We're finalizing everything with most of our incoming signees. I know we're going to have about 8 or 9.
Okay.
So we should have a very nice recruiting class to report soon. A lot of these guys want to kind of wait till January to get all their moms and dads and grandmas here for that. So we're excited to have that, and that'll give us a big media blitz to release soon. Another Brandon Tidenois was our goalkeeper as a freshman last year, and then as a sophomore this year, he was a team captain, ready to lead this team on the field. Tore his ACL on day 2 of training, and which was really awful for him and for the team and all that. But he has decided to come back again for next year, so we're super excited about that. So we're going to get our captain back.
Yeah.
So we'll have that back there, and with some of the recruits that when we're ready to talk about them, it's going to fill a lot of the holes that we're losing. And we've got a lot of guys that contributed this year that we haven't mentioned by name, but they'll be coming back to do their work. Lando Nichols scored a lot of goals for us. He'll come back at midfield. Jalen Boyd. I mean, I don't want to leave anybody out, I'll just kind of stop there. But we have a really good core that's coming back, and we're excited. I think once we announce the recruiting class, we hopefully will try and be one of the favorites over the spring. We're going to work hard and try and get better in a few areas, and hopefully be ready for when August 1 rolls around.
Well, Sully, before I let you go, I'm going to give you the opportunity now to kind of open the floor for you to say some thank yous, show some appreciation for those that may not necessarily, a lot of people know that help you be successful as a coach. I know you got a lot of family. I know it's kind of been a tough year during the season with the family, but they were right there by your side, very understanding as well. So I'm just going to give you the opportunity now to kind of just address whoever you would like.
Well, I mean, absolutely. This job is, it's tough. I mean, it's hard. You can't, anybody says they run this thing by themselves is crazy. Yeah. I mean, there's, from the bus drivers getting us safe home and back on these long trips. I mean, I don't think we got back from Hines till like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And you don't ever have to worry about it. You feel safe, secure. So, I mean, those guys, Coach Ball getting everything ready for us and eligibility and all that. Our fields guys, you guys doing all the videos. I mean, heck, the Northwest game when my family was sick, I didn't get to watch that one.
Yeah.
Because that was rescheduled and y'all were actually in Colin doing a football game.
Right.
But then the next day I got to watch the Meridian. So I was not quite as miserable as I was with the Northwest. Yeah. So just things like that. And then, and really, I really want to say a big thanks to Coach Strother for helping out towards the end. Thankfully all the family's doing great now, but we had a moment where it was not fun for a little while, and that made it tough. And 25 years, never really had that happen. I never missed a game before. Yeah. I always tell my guys, like, look, when we're in preseason, I'm like, I'm always going to be at practice 30 to an hour before. Mm-hmm. If I'm not out here, that means I'm dead or somebody in my family's in the hospital.
Yeah.
So it actually came true for the first time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a big thanks to him for helping me with everything there. And we really were on the fence about hosting the tournament.
Yeah.
Whew, that would have been fun with trying to still deal with the hospital thing. We would have pulled it off, but it would have been interesting. But yeah, there's so many people to thank. I hate, trying to think of not leaving somebody out, but, just my family for kind of helping support me and get everything going, especially at the end when we did have all those problems. A lot of help from a lot of people to make everything go. And, we really had a good season, and there's a lot of different people, to thank for sure. So, Dr. Allen as well and Dr. Boggs, they were huge supporters during the whole year. You know, I mean, I remember not too long ago they came out to East Central, popped over there, and we're at East Central, you know, a year ago, and I'm like, what are y'all doing here? They're like, oh, just in the neighborhood that we'd stop by. Yeah. So, you know, those guys really did a good job supporting us, and, you know, we definitely appreciate them for sure.
Well, Sully, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk to us, and looking forward to next season. I know the recruiting trail is burning up red hot for you right now this time of year, so...
Well, ice cold.
Ice cold. That's true.
I wish it was burning hot.
Yes, that is true. I would say a little different from JUCO to when the high schools play. But Sully, do appreciate you and everything you do for the college. And hey, let's make another run at it again next year.
Sounds good.
Zelle is the new way to move money, and it's already included inside your Renaissance Bank mobile app. No additional downloads, no additional signups. Whether you're paying a friend back for pizza or chipping in for gas, Zelle lets you send money quickly to almost anyone in your contacts. Here's how it works. Open the Renaissance app, log in, and tap the blue button with the white plus sign on it, and select Zelle. Choose Send, Request, or Split. Pick who you want to exchange money with, either from your contacts or by entering a phone number or email. Choose the account you want to pay with and select an amount. Review and confirm. To stay organized, you can even include a short description of what each payment is for. That's it. Your money is on the move. Most payments take place in just minutes. No need to download another app. It all happens inside here. Balance the bill, split the check, and pay your way with Zelle. To learn more about Zelle, visit RenaissanceBank.com or download the Renaissance Bank mobile app to start using Zelle today. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
At Itawamba Community College, your education is our top priority. With a 20-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, you will get the help that you need from your instructors. With 3 locations in Fulton, Tupelo, and Belden, ICC offers classes that will prepare you to enter almost any job field of your choice. Learn more about Wallet Hub's #1 community college in Mississippi and the 25th best in the country by visiting iccms.edu or apply online at apply.iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done. Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkey's for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that. Strictly with the Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Welcome back to the ICC Hour as we close this show on a somber note. We honor the life and legacy of former ICC men's basketball coach and longtime ICC supporter Buster Davis, who passed away last week at the age of 93. Davis was the proud owner of Davis Ford, located just down the road from us here at the college. His highly successful business was honored numerous times by the Ford Motor Company, including earning the coveted President's Award 16 times since opening in the mid-60s. Buster was also a prolific basketball coach on both the high school and junior college levels. He led Belmont, Kossuth, and Thrasher to Grand Slam championships and helped the ICC men's team win the MACJC North Division Championship in 1969, 1970, 1973, and 1975, while finishing the conference runner-up in 1975. In March of 2007, ICC opened a 120,000-square-foot arena that sits over 3,000 people that is known statewide now as the Davis Event Center. It was proudly named after Buster and his twin brother Bud in honor of their contributions to the college. Davis was preceded in death by his wife Billy in 2011 and his brother Bud in 2013.